We are broadcasting live from the Bishop Arts Museum, and it is such a beautiful place. It's a historic place with lots of culture and lots of rooms, as you can see, and we're here for the Native Hawaiian Chamber of Commerce.
Hi, I'm Janet Bullard. I'm the Vice President of Institutional Advancement here at the Bishop Museum. We are thrilled to offer a 20% discount on our membership to all
Native Hawaiian Chamber of Commerce.
To all Native Hawaiian Chamber of Commerce members. We have, right now we're in Hawaiian Hall, and there is a lot to see not only here, but also at the Science Adventure Center, in the Castle building, which is right next door. And a lot to learn about the work we do in the preservation of our culture, and the perpetuation of the culture of Hawaii and the Pacific, and our environment. So we hope that you'll all come and visit often.
Aloha, my name is Andrew Rosen. I'm Communications Chair for the Native Hawaiian Chamber of Commerce. And today we're going to highlight some of our members and visitors so you can see a little more depth about the different services that we provide our members. And also we're very excited to partner with Bishop Museum, where every member gets 20% off any membership that they join here at the beautiful Bishop Museum.
Aloha, my name is Kehaunani Shaler. I'm with First Hawaiian Bank, Employee Benefits Services, and the reason I joined the Native Hawaiian Chamber is because number one, I wanted to give back to my community, and number two, I wanted to get to know business owners that are of Hawaiian ancestry, Hawaiian culture, and make sure that their voice is heard and people understand that Hawaiians can earn businesses too and be just as successful.
Aloha, my name is Kisveki Ki'oiole. I work for Kaiser Permanente. I'm visiting tonight because not only the place was very interesting to me and very dear to me, but I'm interested in hearing from my country.
Hi, my name is Sam Moku. I work at Hawaii Pacific University, and I was invited by a good friend of mine, Sean Spencer.
Aloha, I'm Israel Villa, a member of the Native Hawaiian Chamber. I'm from American Savings Bank, business banking. So we're just here because we, as a Native Hawaiian, I feel it's important to be involved with our culture, and connecting the culture and the business community is awesome. So that's why I joined.
I'm Lindsay Kalaiva'a. I'm an employee of American Savings Bank, and I enjoy coming to the Native Hawaiian Chamber events because I enjoy meeting fellow Native Hawaiians in the business community.
Aloha, I'm Melly James, co-founder of Mana'a. I love the Native Hawaiian Chamber of Commerce. We've had some great resources for a lot of our Native Hawaiian business owners that Mana'a supports, and this is a great network for more local people to support local business.
Aloha mai, my name is Peter Alpo, and I'm Peter Alpo Company. I'm a Native Hawaiian businessman, and I'm here to support the Native Hawaiian Chamber of Commerce. You know, Hawaiian money is colorblind, man. You don't have to be Hawaiian to make Hawaiian money. So we're here to enjoy ourselves, to try to build our capacity, and make even more of a difference in Hawaii's economy. Aloha.
So this is really a meeting. I'm going to turn this over to Joe in a second here. But again, I just wanted to recognize the folks that helped make this happen. All of the food vendors, the liquor vendors, the program committee, which I'll talk about later. And a special thanks from me to Napua. Where is she? Napua Harbala, who's not on the program committee, but she's the one that has all the connections for food and stuff like that. And lastly, to the Bishop Museum. I never thought that we could be here tonight. What a change in venue for us. So I'm going to turn this over to Joe. Okay.
Joe.
Everyone, thank you so much for being here. As Sydney mentioned, we're trying something a little different. Normally every year we kind of just kept our meetings going on every month. This year we thought, hey, how about if we had something like an annual meeting, installation of offices, kind of make it a little different. The venue is excellent, but I have to say the timing for this particular part of the meeting, I don't know if it's so good because you're all out there, you're drinking, you're eating, you had your momentum going, and I know what it's like to have to kind of stop. So either it's going to be a really easy night because you'll be happy with no matter what I say, or you'll be kind of like waiting to be able to get back out there and continue what you were doing and hurry up, like, let's get this over with. So we'll do a combination of both. I'll make sure we hurry, and then I probably will have a lot of errors where I don't make any sense at all, so whatever drinks you have are perfect. With that said, thank you Sidney and his committee, Tracy Adams out in front, Ian Castino is helping out, Mike Rollins, Napua helped to put all of this together. I also want to thank the Bishop Museum. It was Amber Mixel, that is the events person here that helped us out. This is something I hope for them is also very special, that we're here. We've been talking about maybe doing a much more of a partnership with them. So we hope that that moves forward and we have more to do in the future. But I also want to mention, if you don't know about it yet, that means you haven't been reading your emails. But if you don't know about it yet, the museum is offering a 20% discount on all levels of membership so that you can join the museum. And certain levels have free parking, right? So take a look at that. This is a nice way to kind of stay connected. I walked around a little bit. I didn't have a chance to look, but it kind of reminds you, why you need to come back to the museum every once in a while and take a look at what they have. I also wanted to thank Derek Patel for helping us out with the bar and putting together all of the different donors that provided us with the drinks that we have. And in particular, Young's Market helped with the wine. Honolulu Beer Works helped with, of course, the beer. Advantage Marketing helped out with that as well. So thank you so much, Derek. And then we have our bartenders, Andrew's son, Adam, and Adam Rosen is out in front, and the poorest daughter, Kiki, and her last name is Arquette, also helping, so say hi, and there's a family connection, at least with the bartenders. Anyway, with that said, I also wanted to thank, over the past year, a board of directors that put up with me, and we did a lot of things maybe a little different. We're trying to do things a little more different, but it was a really good group to work with. So tonight is really about them. We're going to have a presentation from some of them, very short, about some of the things they did. And like any other busy group, not everyone could be here. We have a couple board members who weren't able to make it. But I wanted to have a little bit of a report about what happened over the past year. Before we do that, I want to introduce who the board members are in the room. All right. So our first vice president is Shannon Eady, and Shannon's in the back. And then our second vice president, the reason he's doing all the work is the second vice president has the task of doing a lot of our activities, and Sidney Kili. So yes. We have our secretary, Kanoe Jobarjagu Choi. And then David Sung is our treasurer. He's been treasurer for a very long time, keeping us straight. Yeah. The other board members I want to introduce as well, Leilani Solomon, in the front, has been on the board. Richard Fernandez is the immediate past president. He was the president before me. And Rick's going to talk a little about some of the work he's been doing. Claire Hughes in the second row. Scanning around the room to make sure I get everyone. Denise, is there? Right? In the back. You're welcome to introduce the Nopua Hard Bottle. And Sean Spencer, our membership chairs. Can I forget Andrew? Andrew Rosen in the back. And he's going to talk about his work, and then maybe a special announcement about something that Andrew's company is doing that I think you all will have to hear about. With that said, I want to start with the reports. And I mentioned real briefly, our officers all kind of have a role. So to become, like the president, you've got to be the first vice president, right? And then the first vice president has this huge task that he or she needs to do to be able to make it through, and if they survive, they get to be president. So with that said, I want to call up Shannon to talk a little bit about the task of the first vice president and the work that she did. So Shannon?
Sorry, 5 fingers.
Mahalo, Joe. As Joe mentioned, as first vice president of the chamber, I had the honor and privilege of chairing the 2019 OO Awards Gala. As many of you know, this is the chamber's primary fundraising event of the year, but it's really about so much more than that. It's about recognizing our Native Hawaiian leaders, recognizing their accomplishments, things that they have achieved in business and in their careers, and their contributions to their communities, primarily the Native Hawaiian community. This year, the OO Award was presented to Elliot Mills, Vice President of Hotel Operations for Disneyland Hotels and Resorts, Dr. Angela Pratt, a physician and head of the OBGYN department at Kapiolani Medical Center, and Nalea Pili Mehana, award-winning recording artist and successful businesswoman. For those of you that were able to join us in May, mahalo. It was truly a wonderful evening. This year, and for the first time, the OO Awards included a makeke that was held in the ballroom foyer. And featured were products made in our state as well as Native Hawaiian cultural demonstrations. The feedback we received on the makeke was great, and we look forward to working to make it a part of the OO Awards moving forward.
Excuse me, Shannon. I'm gonna flip the slide so everybody can see your picture.
Oh, that's you.
In addition, and as has been done in years past, we were able to support local small businesses by making utilization of products and services necessary for production of an event of this magnitude. And finally, I'm happy to report that we did have the largest attendance in this event's history. And as part of this, you know, we had many longtime supporters as well as numerous new individual and corporate sponsors to this event. And so we can only hope that this made an impression on them and they will continue to support our chamber and this event moving forward. Mahalo.
You know, we had a really nice year this year with networking outside of our normal groups of people. So I'd like to call out the immediate past president, Rick Fernandez, to talk about what he's been working on.
Partnerships. You know, about 3 or 4 years ago, we signed an agreement with NHOA and NACA for federal work. And I don't know if any of you have the opportunity to attend some of those events sponsored by NHOA. Because if you want to get in business with the federal government, that's what we got to do. So that partnership grew. And early last year, we signed an agreement with a big chain. And we've been cultivating that relationship. Last August, we signed, I think you've seen, we signed the agreement between the Maui, Kauai, soon to be Big Island, Native Hawaiian Chambers. And we exercised that coordination this weekend. If you saw our press release, hopefully we did, we were able to get 2 of the 4 chambers on because we want to get we started on Saturday, we want to get the notice out, press release Sunday. So we have to work on the coordination. But it's the first time, and we have them all on the phone. We're trying, we're almost making. So that's why we do it, is to be able to build a network so our voice will be heard. If there's any time in our history we need this, it's now. is what's happening on Big Island. So we have 20 partners. I went back and looked at people we work with, and tonight I'll add Bishop Museum. And there's a list here, and I put a paper together last year, a week or so, kind of summarizing what we see there. But two things are happening. We're building a network that we can use to expand our voice. It includes a reach into the business community of Hawaii through the COC, Chamber of Commerce of Hawaii. It's hard to work, we work at it. And the benefits of a lot of these organizations are benefits that also apply to our membership. 20% discount, Bishop Museum. And any event that Chamber of Commerce of Hawaii has will get their membership rate. If you join us, you can go any event at their membership rate. So it's both ways we're doing things. First, to get our voice heard and support that and bring benefits to the membership. We'll continue to do that and a lot more work. So, but that's where we're going. That's where we're at. That's where we're trying to do.
Please bear with us as we do the reports, because these committee chairs worked hard over the past year, and I want them to have a chance to come up and talk a little bit about what they did. So, we'll get there. Don't worry, that's going to stay here. But I wanted to make sure they had a chance to share. Kanoi Jobar Joglu Kapchoi is our secretary, but also someone that's working with our younger members. So, Kanoi, you can come up.
Hi everyone, I'm Kanoi.
Hi.
Kanoi's fine. I'm secretary on our board, but I'm also co-chair of our Next Gen network that we have started. So it's kind of been something in the works and started with conversations from me and Shannon back there. We heard from for quite some time, and we finally got to launch our Next Gen network this year. So February, we had an event at Workplay Hawaii. We had a really great kind of guest speaker, Kamu Hill, who's NFL football player for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not an Eagles fan, but that's okay. It was a great event. We had between 40 to 50 people who came. A lot of them were people who had never joined the chamber, never been to a chamber event before, and that's really the purpose of our committee, is to empower and engage new members, next gen members, to join the Chamber of Commerce and let them know that this is also a place for them. You don't have to be a seasoned professional to join the chamber. You can be up and coming. Seasoned? That's a good term, right? But I also wanted to say he couldn't be here today, but Jay Banana, he's a co-chair for this committee. Others who have been super helpful have been Shannon and Timmy, who also is our board member, who couldn't be here tonight. But we are, with our coming strategic planning meeting and getting started on this new year, we are going to be putting together a more detailed plan on how to roll out our events and activities and focus things. I mean, we had a great survey, and it's really important that we do things that are appealing to the whole chamber, but we also want to focus on issues and topics that are more specific to our next gen, are interesting to them and more pertinent to the work that they do, and how to get them from where we are now to where we'd like to be 10, 20 years from now. So that doesn't mean to say that not everyone is welcome. Part of the Next Gen Network is to integrate our Next Gen business people, professionals with our seasoned professionals. Part of that is the value that the chamber brings, mentorship opportunities, networking, a chance to kind of get your foot in the door where you may not otherwise have so. So please come out. You are not uninvited. You are all invited to join our Next Gen events. And maybe it could also help you have younger employees or co-workers of yourselves that maybe just kind of build that relationship, include them, invite them to come to our events. So we'll be growing. You'll be hearing a lot more from us in the future. Thank you.
Is from someone who is relatively new to our board and someone who is seasoned. So I'd like to call Sean and Molly, our membership chairs, to talk about what happened with membership this year.
Okay, this is seasoned right here. Looking at Declare. 1974, I joined this organization as a charter member, and I haven't been able to get out of it. So what I did is I recruited Sean to come help me in membership, and he's done a fantastic job. But you pretty much heard everything about what's going on with this organization, all tied into membership. But I want Sean maybe to talk a little bit about what's happening with our website and accessibility for our members to find out what's going on with this organization, because as we all know, young people, this is their life. And if they're not going to read it in the newspaper, they're not going to read it, you know, in the email, but they're going to read it here in a text message. So we're trying to get more akamai about that. I want Sean to just talk a little bit about that.
What's, you know, with the help of Andrew, our website has become more interactive. We actually have an online directory of all our individual members and also the corporate members. And what we've instituted too is a lot of email blasts with the help of Tracy and Sid and Andrew. You know, everything is email. And then with the help of Shannon, we've actually have instituted online payment through PayPal, because everything is PayPal now. We also receive hard checks, but most, we see a lot of our younger preseason members that are using PayPal, so that's what we've instituted. You know, we've got currently, as of the year of corporate, we've got about 345 individual members, 39 corporate members, and we want to continue increasing the membership.
Thank you.
Yeah, so bring, if you've got somebody that's interested, please go online, check it out. Bring them to a meeting. We still have a free lunch ticket. If you bring a guest, we'll pick up the lunch for them. And yeah, we're just trying to encourage younger members to join the organization. Thanks again for all your help.
Our Bubble helped us with our networking events. She'll come up and talk about what's been happening with networking.
Mahalo, Joe. We've been mentioning Shannon's name. She's almost on every single committee, and she's also part of the networking committee. So I'd like to start off by thanking my committee members, who include Shannon, Edie, and then also Deb Noshijo Okano, who's not here tonight. But this year we held 3 networking events. One was held in August, and that was a breakfast networking event where we had great registration, great numbers, and then a hurricane called Lane came to town. And so unfortunately the attendance at that event wasn't too great. And then we had another networking breakfast that we held at the CNHA conference. That was in October. That was a fabulous success. And then we're counting tonight's networking event after the meeting today as our 3rd event of the year. So please stick around for that. There'll be more poo-poos and drinks for everybody to have. The thing we didn't have this year was a networking event at a member business. So I just want to let everybody here know and spread the word. If you're an NHCC member, there is an opportunity for you to promote your business. How it works is that you provide the place, and NHCC provides the food, the drink, and all the activities for the evening. We've had these networking events at small businesses that have a staff of 3 people, and then we've also had these events at large places like the Royal Hawaiian Shopping Center, where 3 of their restaurants were highlighted. So I encourage all of you, if you want to promote promote your business, just give us a call, get in touch with any of our board members, or go to our website to our contact us page, and let us know if we can put on an event at your business. Mahalo.
The other board members that we have that I always rely on for advice, I like to call up and have a talk about what's happening with our scholarship committee, Dr. Claire Hughes.
I'm one of the seasoned ones. Tonight I would like to introduce you to two of the former scholarship chairs who are here in the room. I wasn't the first, although I might be the first. I wasn't the first scholarship chairman. It gives me great pleasure tonight to introduce you to Momi Casimiro. She invited me to serve on the scholarship committee way back in, what, 1800s? Momi Casimiro. And the other one is Leilani Williams Solomon. And Leilani continues to serve on the committee. We didn't give any scholarships from the chamber until late 1990s. I can't remember the date for sure, but we gave money from the treasury to $1,000 to one individual for about 3 years. And then we struggled taking it from the treasury again because our treasury was never wonderful. It was okay. I have another story about treasuries, but I'll save that for another time. But anyway, then we had a silent auction at our annual OO. And the silent auction was absolutely a winner. We had so much money there. Oh, first time. So everybody said, why don't we give scholarships from our silent auctions? So for the next like 8 years or 9 years, we gave silent auction scholarships. So however many dollars we had, we gave $1,000 up to the max of that. And then our silent auction made, so we hit the treasury again. But it's not fair to go to the treasury for something that is not a really scheduled long time effort. So this year Shannon had a bright idea. And she says, Auntie, I want you to do the marketplace. Okay. I'm so little, I have no idea what it takes. So I did not want to disappoint her. But I'm wise enough to know when I'm stupid. So I called a friend who is very good at it. And I enlisted Hawaiian. I wish she had come tonight. I invited her, but she did not want to drive all the way over. So anyway, she did an excellent job. And we tried, this is the first time, and we really did a good job. Actually, I did it all. I can't take any credit. I was a cheerleader, and I got the group together of all the important people, like Andrew was the one that advertised it on his radios. Thank you, Andrew. And Timmy went down and actually measured the space and calculated how many tables we could put up, because the hotel could never get us a diagram. And all these people worked very hard, and it went off. And so this year, we were able to give, we made $4,600 from that, because we only took the amount of money it cost for each table. And so we made $4,600, and we gave 4 $1,000 scholarships this year. And I went through the scholarship banquet, and we spent our money well. I met a couple of the kids who got it. But you know, our real goal is to give bigger awards, because $1,000 barely buys the books. At one time it paid for a lot of the scholarship for the year, but it barely pays now for the books for a year. So we need to up that ante. So we're looking for much better makeke, and we're going to take it maybe 1 or 2 a year or something like that, and make more money for scholarships. Thank you.
Bring it all. Okay. The next person I want to call up is the chair of our communications committee. And this has been an area we've kind of struggled with the past couple of years. You know, as was said, a lot of us are seasoned, and some of this technology not only is new, it's perplexing. So getting somebody that's in the field of communications was a really big help for us. So I'd like to call up Andrew Rosen.
Thank you. First, I want to thank all of you for giving me the opportunity to serve this wonderful organization. I've been with the organization 2 years, and in the 2 years I've been here, if you could only be in the boardroom and hear the synergies and the evolution and trying to take our organization to the next level, I am so privileged to be a part of this group, and under the leadership of Joseph and all of our people, they're so committed. So I want to thank them, and just know we are moving far into the 21st century. So now, so when I first got there, I went to the website, I clicked on newsletter, and I'm like, there's no newsletter. I have no clue, where's the newsletter? She goes, we don't write one. I said, all right, well now I know we don't have a newsletter. So we hired one of our former employees, Big T's, Terrence Hallams, of Media Elite, and he gave us a really good deal. He's a member of the board, not the board, excuse me, our chamber, and I highly recommend him. He didn't pay me to do this, but I hope you like what we're doing, and we keep evolving it. And for those of you that allowed us to interview you tonight, we'll have you up there, we'll have this, and our guest speaker up there as well. We're very excited about that, and we would love your feedback and recommendations. It's all about content, and if we don't have content, there's no reason for you to go there. So the more feedback you can give us, the better. I would welcome it. Also, if anyone would like to serve on the communications committee, I would love your help. You know, like it's something that, you know, I get a lot of support from the board. You know, we have all this video equipment now, which we didn't have before. And we're really trying to move everything to the, as I said, the 21st century. So any feedback, any support, I would welcome having you on the committee greatly. And we'll have fun too. And then lastly, Joseph had mentioned an exciting news. And as you know, TMT is going on right now, and we are the spotlight of the world. And with the dignity that the Hawaiian people are addressing this issue, and the fact that we're not arguing with one another, even though we may have different points of view, everyone's coming together. And many are saying this is the beginning of our second renaissance. And with that, I'm very proud to announce that last Saturday we launched the first Native Hawaiian language radio station on 9:40 a.m. Give it up! The vision and all the work was done by John Ayeto. He went out, he had the vision, he secured the grant, he helped bring in the Native Hawaiian speakers so we could redo all the liners, and that station will continue to evolve, and I hope you'll listen. Our goal one day is to have UH Sports in Olelo, Hawaii, and we are just really excited to launch that station, and there's so many great things going on. And again, I'm so privileged and blessed to be part of this. And before I forget, because I almost did, and I would have had to kiss his okole forever, Jose Cruz, our chief engineer, has volunteered to always do the video and the pictures, and his lovely wife Grace came on a Friday night as well, and she loves the culture too. So she was like, Jose, I want to go. Mahalo, I really appreciate being a part of this, and any suggestions, please let me know. Thank you.
Before we get on to the last report, I did want to do a quick one for one of the board members who couldn't be here today, and that's Ron Jarrett, who's the chair of our Government Affairs Committee. This was an exciting year for us with Government Affairs. When I became president last year in July, I think it was like the day after, this whole Aloha Poke issue blew up in the news, and then we ended up being involved in it, which was a good thing, because it was it opened up the door for something that we were hoping that we would get into. Got involved with that. We were involved also with the CNHA convention. We worked with the Native Hawaiian Legal Corporation, brought over someone from Seattle, a Hawaiian woman by the name of Makalika Naholova. And she is the patent attorney for Microsoft, at the time she was, and came over and did a presentation on patent law and trademark law. And it was such an excellent way to kind of introduce us into this whole arena of advocacy and government affairs. We were involved for several years, actually, on an issue to open up government contracts, to set aside funding for initially Native Hawaiian businesses. It has since opened up for small businesses, because as you all know, when you do politics, the broader you can make your constituency, the better your odds of being able to get in there. We're continuing to work on making sure that state contracts set aside 20% of their funds for small businesses, and in particular defined as women-owned, veteran-owned, and Native Hawaiian-owned businesses. So we're continuing to work on that. This past year, we had the fortune of going out for our second year to Washington, D.C. for Hawaii on the Hill. I want to thank Cully Burgess and the work of Kamehameha Schools, one of our partners, who helped put it together for us. It was an excellent opportunity to get there to see and meet with the congressional delegation, talk about the issues we're working on. And one of the other benefits of working government affairs is that this year we will be chairing again the Business and Economic Development Caucus at the CNHA convention. It is our intention to be the facilitators of that Business and Economic Development Caucus, to be able to provide a place where Native Hawaiian businesses can raise their concerns, and then we can help to organize initiatives and priorities so that we can work on them. So that's Ron's report. So our last report for the evening, I want to call David Soon, who is our treasurer, kind of let you know what's going on with our funding and how we're doing. So David, you want to come up?
Good evening, everyone. I'll keep the report pretty brief. It was a good year for us. Just to give you an overview, on our financial statement, we carry no liabilities. We're all volunteer board. None of us on the board gets paid anything. So it's basically, it's pretty simple. We have cash and investments to keep us, to keep our operations going. And thanks to the success of this year's OO Awards, we did have a very good year. Our fiscal year ends June 30th, so we just closed out the books for this past fiscal year. As you can see, over the past 2 years, we've grown our assets by about a third, so it's been a good 2 years. The monies here are all for the members, so if you have something you want to move forward and you want to do it through the chamber, please be involved and get it. Let us know what your thoughts are, because the assets here belong to the members. It's not for any one particular. It's not for the board. It's not for anything in particular. So please be involved, and if you have something that you think will benefit the chamber and the business community itself, please be involved. We also have an investment account. It's done well for the past 2 years, but anybody who watches the stock market knows it's been a kind of wild ride the past couple of years. But we're in good shape now. Moving forward, we have a lot of plans. The growth in our assets, I think, reflects the fact that the board has gotten a lot, and the chamber has gotten a lot of momentum over the past 2 years. So this kind of reflects what's going on in the general sense of the chamber and all the members and the board and everything together. As far as our operations, you know, we try to break even on our lunches. We have the Christmas party that, you know, we subsidize, but in general, the main fundraiser of the year is OO. Then we have, you know, we support other functions as far as, you know, if we have partners who have some kind of function, you know, we try to support them as best we can. Like I said, it's for the members, so if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them, you know, now or later, just let me know. Thanks.
Started writing my opening remarks, and then not realizing what would occur over that 10-day period up at the mall. And what you learn in public speaking is that when things like that happen, never go into Q&A. What I do want to share, because I do think it's pertinent to the question and answer period, is I want to just take a few minutes of sharing a little bit about my background. You know, why I think the way I think, whether it's, I hope it's of interest to you. And then share a little bit about, you know, some perspectives that I have, having had the opportunity to lead the Department of Hawaiian Homelands, as well as the time that I've been so privileged to serve at public commitment schools. And to be honest, I have more questions than answers, you know, right now, but definitely would love to hear your one-on-one as we talk this evening. You know, early in my life, you know, I look back and I have zero regrets of the hardships or good times or whatever times I had. I look back at my life and I feel very grateful, you know, for the experiences I had. I started early. I had misfortune of losing my mother at a very young age to suicide. Clash of cultures between a Caucasian family and a Hawaiian family. My mother got very depressed. And it was no fault of either side, but I learned early on that, you know, the world can deal you an unfair deck of cards. But I was blessed as a result of that my Hawaiian grandmother moved in with us to our house in Kailua. And she was a tough lady. She was from Nanakuli. She still had her place in Nanakuli. She was a kalevea, so if anybody knows the kaleveas in Nanakuli, they're a tough breed up there, up in 3rd and 4th Road up there. But what she would do is every weekend she would go back to Nanakuli. And my brother was 8 and I was 4. And this went on for many years. My father was a teacher at Kailua Intermediate School, but he also was a night manager at Tiki Tops over at Winter City Shopping Center, for those of you folks who remember that. And so I had to go with her to Nanakuli. And so every Friday she would pick me up from school and we'd get in her rusted old Malibu car, windows up, KCC and going, smoking her cigarettes, 35 miles an hour, heading to Nanakuli. And when you get to Kahi Power Plant and the road starts to elevate a little bit, you know, she would turn on the radio and she would say the same thing every time. The first community as you get over into Nanakuli on your left-hand side is a community called Kealanas. And it's named after the Kealana family because they were the first homesteaders there. And my grandmother would say, you know, those damn politicians, you know, they think the road ends at Kealanas. You know, they don't realize that there's a Hawaiian community out here trying to survive. And that was 45 years ago that she said that. And it was my first exposure to recognizing the inequities in our communities. And those words never left me. But those weekends were rough for me. You know, I was a holly-looking boy in Nanakuli. My grandmother was very strict. Her place was right on Farrington Highway with her boyfriend, Uncle Pete, who was a very, very dear uncle to me. 2 naps a day. Because we were on Farrington Highway, couldn't stray too far from the house. But every Saturday in the afternoon, we would go to my Uncle Willie's house. And my Uncle Willie and my Uncle Tommy had a commercial fishing business. And they had a very big boat. At that time it was big, 26 feet. And we'd go there, and it was everything about that boat that I loved. The thinking about the fish you catch. The stories, my Uncle Willie would be on the boat, and I would go up on the boat and spend hours on there with him. And and I would just do everything he did. And I didn't want to go inside with my grandmother because it was boring enough to take another nap. So find ways to stay on the boat. And so I literally would stay on that boat for like 2-3 hours with him. My uncle would be catching the net, take the nets, I put them in the appropriate box that we needed to be in. You know, I arranged my uncle's box so he had certain things that he needed for the next day, and we'd get the boat ready every Saturday for Sunday's trip. And I tell you, I knew that boat like the back of my hand. And I always longed for that opportunity to go on that boat one day, to be on the boat. And I got that opportunity about 2 years, 3 years later, 7 years old, and I would ask every time, you know, can I come on the boat? And finally I got that opportunity. And I knew, as young as I was, that I had to take advantage of that opportunity. It was an opportunity to show that I could belong on the boat and do something productive. And I tell you, I swear to you, I made every effort to do that. And I ended up on that boat every Sunday after that, forever. And it was amazing what you learn when you're on a boat with 7 grown men, 3 of which their lives depend on it. That's their primary source of income. You're challenged with personalities. You're challenged with a confined space. You know, once you leave the harbor, there's no going back. If you get sick or if something happens, if there's arguments, you stay on the boat. And it was amazing to watch my uncles, you know, manage these 6 grown men. You know, when things didn't go well and we didn't catch, you know, those whose employment was their sole source of employment, they took home money. The others didn't. And it was really a learning experience for me about how we all have to sacrifice for those less fortunate. At the age of 13, I put my first tank on my back. And that's where I really started to grow. By the age of 15, I was a full-fledged member of the operation, and it got me through high school, it got me through college. And as Sam knows, who I work with up at the women's schools and the dorms, it was my primary source of income when I was a part-time dorm advisor there. But when you spend time in the ocean, I think it was my time to get connected to my culture. You know, when you're underwater, you feel the temperature of the ocean, and you start to recognize day after day that Hawaiians understood that as well. You know, you start to see the nuances of the wildlife that is there. You start to read fish. You know, they act a certain way. They look at you a certain way. Sharks look at you a certain way. Fish move a certain way. I'll tell you this, fish are a lot harder to read than people. I'm not kidding. But I take those experiences with me to the work that I do today. Trying to understand and take the temperature of the places we're in. And I really credit any success I've had from everything I learned from the time I was 15 years old. At the age of 15, my family was hit again with a bit of a hardship. My father, as Uncle Mike mentioned, ended up having a brain tumor. The brain tumor engulfed his pituitary gland, and so fortunately it wasn't a cancerous tumor, but he had to go through a very risky surgery. Went up through the inside of his mouth, up through his nasal cavity, and because of the ability to not have very exact ways to remove it, they ended up having to take out his entire pituitary gland, which meant that he had to be on a testosterone shot once a month. And so at the beginning of every month, he'd take this shot, last for 30 days. He'd have a lot of energy for the first 2 weeks, and then the second 2 weeks, he'd just be struggling. He'd be tired. We also, from the time he came out of surgery, when he opened his eyes, we saw a different man. You know, he was claustrophobic, had a hard time smiling. But as he started to go forward, dealing with this was harder for him. And so he started self-medicating himself with cocaine. And that accelerated through my college career, up until my divorce, lost the house. Just tough times. And, you know, I'm proud to say that he's doing very well right now. My brother and I were able to get guardianship over him. He had to commit a felony for us to get him through a court system so that we could get him there. Uncle Mike and many of his classmates all shared in the responsibility of caretaking for him over a long period of time with people like Billy Mitchell and others who come in and graduates. I'm very grateful for that. I'm very proud right now because he's doing so well. And so again, those are hardships that happen in our community with others. I'm not unique. And again, I take that perspective into the work I do. As Uncle Mike mentioned, I've had the privilege to serve at the Department of Hawaiian Homelands and at the HHL. And at Community Schools. I want to give just kind of a couple of perspectives about that, and maybe we can open it up to question and answers. I had a very, very unique opportunity at the HHL. Unlike any of my predecessors, and unlike any of my successors today. First and foremost, I had a governor that was unflappably supportive of the Native Hawaiian community. Unflappable support. The second thing I had was I had a legislature that wanted us to succeed. Kulina Busa was Senate President, and she was, like the governor, unflappable in her support. She wanted to see Hawaiians finally start to get what they deserve. In the House, we had Scott Saiki, and believe it or not, he was a tremendous support. Quick story for you. As you heard from my introduction, I had a window of political experience working at the Hawaiian Republican Party. It really was a mission for me to help get Linda elected. That was my focus. And fortunately we did. But in that process, we went after Scott Saiki. We threw the kitchen cabinet at him, we threw as much bad mail at him, and we still got smoked. I mean, we got smoked by a couple thousand votes. And so he, at that time, made an effort to take leadership in the House. And so he tried to galvanize enough members in the House to take over leadership. And that's when him and Sylvia first tried to make a move on that. Well, they failed. And so his punishment, line affairs. And so here I am at DHHL with a guy that I just went after everything I could. And now I got to report to him at the House legislature. So it starts off pretty rough, man. I mean, it's rough. And finally, Senator Hanabusa calls us into her chambers. And she says, you two knuckleheads, let me first tell you, you're in Siberia, Scott, and they don't expect you to do anything. And you, Micah, you're Republican. They don't expect you to do anything. So you know what, why don't you two guys who are in Siberia together, send me some stuff that are productive, and I'll get it through. They don't expect anything from you guys. And so we started working with each other. And I tell you, we had probably 7 of the most productive years in passing legislation. But they didn't expect anything from us. They didn't expect that we would find a way to work together. And as a result of that, we moved a lot of resources into our community. There was a couple other aspects that were very unique about my time there. We had a very, very functioning and supportive Office of Foreign Affairs. Trustee Apo was part of that effort. Clyde Nabuo was there. Trustee Apoliona was chair. We were able to partner with them with a $90 million infrastructure subsidy into our Hawaiian homelands. It had a tremendous impact on our ability to accelerate our work. So I want to thank you, Trustee Apo, for that support. And then finally, we had the support of the private sector. Governor Lingo helped me to secure the interests of 7 of the top developers in the state. People like Stanford Carr, Dick Cushman, Jeff Stone, people that knew how to develop on scale. And they came into our department and they basically said, Micah, you gotta go bigger, you go home. And they also knew that there was no way that